Hello everyone, welcome to my corner of the world, and I am about to start a new junk journal. I finished one a few weeks ago and I had such fun making it that I thought now I'm going to plan a new one. So my last one kind of developed and morphed, and this time I decided that I would be a bit more organized about it. And I purchased some really pretty papers, which I've printed here. And they're kind of like a bit of a William Morris type theme. And I thought that I would try to do a green themed junk journal. So rather than start with the cover like I did last time, I thought I would start with some things to put in my junk journal so that as I build it up, I can then design my pages around the things that I want to put in. So I thought, well, why not do a mini junk journal which can go inside? And so I got some paper out. Now, if you saw my other videos, say series of videos on my sort of blue and pink rose one, I found this paper with half sheets in. And so I've been, I wanted to use these up. So this actually is like 9 1/4 by 6. Heaven knows what I used the other half of these papers for. So there, what I thought was I'm going to take both of these, and if I fold them this way and cut, and fold the other way and cut, I thought that would give me some interesting pages. Now, if you watch my other series, you'll learn that I did not get on well with ripping with a ruler. I don't know whether I didn't get the strength in my fingers or what. So that's when I invested in this gorgeous little machine, and it just cuts a decal edge, and it gives me the effect that I'm wanting without too much stress on my part. And you know, I feel after all this should be fun. You know, if I'm stressing on trying to cut paper, you know, with a ruler, it's not fun anymore, is it? So I'm just going to give these cut the edges off of this paper, and then we'll take it from there and see where we get with our page size. So I've no idea what my page size will be. This is simply a sort of suck it and see, and an effort to use some of the paper that I find that I've got in my stash. Right, so I folded it in half that way, and you know, I don't think that there's a size that, you know, you have to do. I don't think the book size police are going to come after me. So I'm just going to line up that fold with the cutting edge, and so I'm going to have a bit of a sort of a longish, thinnish page. Like that. So that will give me my pages. So let's do the same here. I didn't quite get that, so it's all right at the one end, but not at the other. Let's see if I can just trim that off a tinsy bit just to get it lined up. There we go. And so we're just going to fold that like that. I think that's that with the cutting at the minute. Look, see, that would make good packaging. If you had plenty of that, you could use that for like packing up gifts. What do they call it when you have, it's like paper straw, do they call it? Can't remember. Now I am going to just layer these together. I'm not going to sort of do them like individually and sort of sew them in or anything. I'm just going to make one single signature like that. Now, I'm not going to do this on every page, but I just do it on one, and then I can always come back and do it off of camera. I'm just going to go ahead and just get these edges and I'll do this, as I say, on all the pages when, but I can do it when it's bound, because I want to actually make the book. I want to get it bound and ready for decoration. So I'm not going to decorate it because I want to be able to decorate it in keeping with the rest of the journal when I get there. But at least when I get there, I'm going to have something to put in. And I'm thinking that I'll probably go ahead and I'll do tags and do some tags and some clusters, etc. Beforehand as well. And then I just put them in a little box. So that's what I'm going to do on all of the pages, but I'm not going to do it all in there. So there's my pages. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I got 16 little pages in that book. And so I'm thinking that would really be super for, you could put photographs in it, you could put quotes, little bits of memorabilia. Now, let's see what my finished is. So it's 4.5. 4.5. I mean, as always, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? I haven't got a pencil. Oh dear. I'm a nutcase when it comes to doing this. So 4.5. So it's 4.5 long, and well, it's just under, or is it just over 6? Okay, it's about 5 3/4. 5 3/4 wide. So my cover, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold these pages together so that I don't lose them. Ready for binding. So I'm just making sure that that's all nice and in a nice place. Perfect. So I probably want to add like 1/4 inch to the width, and that gives me a little bit of an overhang. So if I make it 4 3, my cover 4 3/4 inches long and 6 inches wide. Okay, so I'll cross that out so I don't get confused. And I've got my paper here. Now, I just printed this onto the same paper as I've made this out of, and it's got like a little, I don't know, it's got like a little colour variation in it that gives it a bit of a colour texture. So as I say, I printed this on that same paper, and if I do, this is 8 inches wide. I can't, for some reason, I can't make it print to fill the page. I always get like a 1/4 inch little thingy border all the way around. And so that's 6. So if I used it that way, it would be wide enough. But this has got a direction. So I'm going to have to do it this way to make sure that my leaves are going the right way on my little mini journal. Now, if I look at this, can you see that this is I've got what, a couple of inches here? I've got 2 1/4 inch, well, just over 2 inches. If I'm going to cut this so that it will I can have a flap over pocket on the inside. And I can make a pocket on the inside cover without having to do any sticking down. Okay, let's see where we go. Now, this paper isn't really sturdy enough for a cover. But what I've discovered is if I attach it to some ordinary copy paper like this, I find that that gives enough sturdiness without it being too thick and cumbersome. So I'm going to stick it down. See, when I did my last junk journal, that was the second journal that I'd ever done, and you know, I was trying to get ideas and learn, and I'm still doing that. But I just sometimes feel a little bit more confident when I'm doing something for the second or the third time. And I use this, and I did some tags in my last journal, which I printed onto paper, and then I attached that to some brown packing paper, which came with an Amazon box, an Amazon delivery. And that's kind of gone a bit smooshy. I need to get rid of that. And it was surprising. It didn't just sort of double the sturdiness. It seemed to make it even more sturdier than double. If you follow me, well done. And then this is a tip that I got from Jez Carpenter from Nigeza Creates, where if you use a glue stick and then just add some of this solvent glue around the edge, it will give you a better gluing experience. So, since she has got far more experience than I have, we are going to follow her advice. Ooh, I don't want to put that one on there. That doesn't belong on there, Sind. Right, so we're going to just flip this over, and I'm just going to attach it. I'm going to put it right in the middle, because I'm going to trim it once it's stuck down. Now, we've been going about, what, 14 minutes. We've come a long way. It's okay, we've got pages, and we've got our cover starting. So this is looking good. And just make sure I got no adhesive coming off here. That shouldn't be there. Let's get rid of that. Right, let's put the cap back on this so that I don't get things stuck to it. I don't want to get stuck to it. And we'll come back with my new favorite toy. So I'm going to just trim the white and the edging off of this. There we go. I probably should have let it dry a little bit because it's chewed, but doesn't matter because it's going to be rough edged anyway. So, you know, I think I said in my other videos that I go onto Etsy and I just download papers and ephemera, and I always look. I don't buy like a kit because I think, well, I don't know as if I want everything that would be in the kit. So I would look for like some papers. So this one here is a set of papers, and when you do it that way, it seems to be you can get it for like $2 or $3. So what did I say? I was going to do that. So I want to cut this way, and I said I needed it to be 6 inches, didn't I? No, it's 6 inches. So I want it this way here, so I can get myself a pocket. And so I need that to be 4 3/4. So 4 3/4. And copy paper, well, you can get it cheap as chips. Cheap as chips. Now I'm going to keep that piece. I will keep because I might be able to use that in something. And so what I'm going to do now is I mean, if I'd have cut this exactly the right, I'd just folded it in half. But because I want to make that pocket, okay, so I've got to do a score at 6 inches. Now then, so maybe I want it to the back. Let's do it to the back, 6 inches. Like that. And then, if I fold this like that and just a little tap in there, let's see, does it fit? I think I'm going to just take this a tiny little bit out. I did it at 2, didn't I? I'm going to take it back about to 1 3. The pocket, I haven't got quite the overlap that I hoped I would have. And so that pocket will have to be just a tinsy bit. But you know, that doesn't show. See, that doesn't show. And let's see what we've got here. There, I've got a better border now. I'm happier with that. So we're going to do like this. I'm just going to fold it. Let's get a bit of space. Just line everything up so that it's sort of square. There. So that should be the front. And so if we attach that and push the signature in like that, and I've got a nice border top and bottom. So if I put this in like that and hold that, and like that. So 20 minutes and going strong. So the next thing I've got is, I've got a piece of copy paper. Now this is 4.5 long. Is it going to fit here? It does, look at that. And it's just 1.5 inches wide, folded down the middle. Now it doesn't have, it doesn't have to be 1.5 inches wide. It just, it was a scrap I had. But you need to make sure that it's the length that you need for the signature. So I'm just gonna put my, so this is gonna help us put our marks for our stitching. So I'm just going to do 3 stitches in this. So I'm going to fold it in half. That will give me my center stitch. I'm going to take this piece up like that and then turn it over, and I'm going to take this piece up here like that. So now I've got 3 evenly spaced stitches, and I like to just mark it. She says this is only the 3rd time I've ever bound anything. I like to mark it. I thought it would be a good idea to help me out to mark it. So this now is going to go in the middle, lining up those pieces. I've lined up all my folds, get my little clippy thing here like that. Really push that firmly in. Make sure it's exactly where I want it to be, because at this point, once it's sewn in, you're pretty much stuck with the finished product. Okay. And I'm just going to sort of fold it, make sure everything is looking good. It's not as square as I hoped it would be. Let's move that out a bit and see if I can just ease it in. And the thing is, this paper that I've now, this has got a lovely, it just feels lovely. It just kind of feels a bit sort of, I don't know, sort of like leathery. Don't know why, because all it is like some paper. Maybe it's the finish on this paper. Not really sure. Okay, then I've got my kit. Now this is called a bradawl. It's hellishly sharp. Be ever so careful. You know, you could use maybe, if you've got a darning needle, you could use a darning needle, but scissors, if you use the point of your scissors, because it's kind of tapered, you'll get a bigger hole than you really want. So I'm going to put it in the middle of that there. I'm just going to gently fold, and I'm just going to wiggle my hand. Can you see I'm just twisting my hand? And there is my, can you just see? There's the bradawl coming out. You can just, there it is, it's catching the light. And then I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to go and do the next one. And just making sure I keep my hand well away, because it would give you a nasty jab, and you don't want to get blood all over your beautiful work. Well, certainly I don't anyway. There we go. So there's my 3 holes. I've got this sparkling wine cork. I just keep on it for safety, and that's all I need there. This is just a kit I bought off of Amazon, and it comes with these 2 colours. I'm going to use this one. This white one's a bit stark. And it came with the bradawl, some needles, 2 lots of thread, some snips, some bone folders, and some snips. And it was like, I don't know, $10. Certainly not much more than that. because I'm too mean to spend a lot of money on that. But it's certainly worth. I don't want to use too big a needle because I don't want to make that those holes too much bigger. So we got some ones here. So if you're doing a really big journal, you probably need a big needle. Now, I have got no idea how much thread, but I did hear somebody say 4 times the length of your piece. So there we go. We'll see how good that is. And we just thread up the old needle. What did I do with it? There we go. And I just pinch that because this is waxed. And when you pinch it, it stays flat and it goes through the needle really, really well. Right, so this is how I've done it. This is how I found some information on the internet, on YouTube, and that's how I've done it. And this is the 3rd time I've done a binding, so it's worked for me before. So I'm going to start from the middle and I'm going to go out through to the back and just pull it through like that. And then I'm going to go in, it doesn't matter whether you go in the top or the bottom, but you're just going to go in through one of them, back through the hole that you made. Keep your fingers out the way because this is sharp. Okay, so then that's through to the back, through the front. Then I'm going to pull this one forward and I'm going to put this back through the middle hole. And I've pulled this one away because I don't want my needle to go through that thread, because otherwise it won't pull tight when I get there. And then we're going to go back in through the top like that. Although this might be the bottom. Yeah, this is the bottom hole now. And there it goes. And I'm going to pull that tight through. So I've got my 2 stitches. They look really lovely and neat. And I'll probably put a binding on the edge here, a decorative binding to hide my stitches. And then I'm going to bring this, this is my loose thread, my start. And all I'm going to do is pass it under that top stitch there. And of course that's all now in the middle. And I can just do a single knot, a double knot, like that. I think they call it a square knot here in the States. In the UK, we call it a reef knot, right over left, left over right. Nice and tight. And then I'm going to leave this thread dangling. See, I didn't need 4 times, did I? Look at that. Never mind. And I'm going to put my needle away straight away. I heard somebody say one time, don't put it down, put it away. And that makes perfect sense to me because I know I'll lose that. And then take my clips off like this and then remove this. Now, I could have removed this before I stitched, but I didn't want to move my clips because I was petrified everything would move. And because this is copy paper, that comes out really easy. So I'm going to just toss that away. So there we've got our book, our little notebook, our little mini journal. And I'm just going to put those in. The only thing I've got to think about now is my little pocket. And I've got a little circle punch here. And I'm going to just go in roughly halfway and clip it. A little finger hole. And then that way, anybody who opens that can see, oh, there's a little pocket to put something in just there. And I will go ahead in and do some sponging of the edges. But since I'm going to stick this one down, I want to do it now. So just on that bit. And then we just get this adhesive. So this adhesive I'm using here is a solvent-based one. And it dries quickly and it doesn't make your paper soggy. So a water-based glue can make your paper soggy. I mean, it dries okay, but and then we just get hold of this and put all of that in and take any adhesive off. So we've been going just over 30 minutes. So I like to just leave my videos at around about the 30-minute mark. So I now have this cute little mini junk journal that I can use inside my big junk journal when I get there. So I'll just be putting that to one side. And when I work out what my decorations are for my big journal, I will do some some decoration inside, maybe put some little mini pockets in there, maybe some little tabs or something, and get that finished off. Well, I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, perhaps you'll go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Look out for my other videos on my my second junk journal that I completed a few days ago. And look out for future videos on this new one. I'll just turn the camera on when I start work and I'll share with you what I've got. Well, thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today. I really appreciate that. And until next time, bye for now.